Hey there, this is Neil Napier, the Stoic Entrepreneur, and now we are on part 5 of our $0 to $15 million journey. I don't know how many parts there are going to be. There's going to be a lot of parts, but to be honest, this is an entire course in itself. But what I can tell you now is we're going to continue going into our opt-in forms, and there's two aspects that I want to talk about with you today. Number one is their copy and design, and number two is follow-up. So with examples, I'll explain to you how you can build out your copy for your opt-in pages, how you can design it, and then also how you can have a follow-up in place so that you're able to reach out to these people who are opting into your email list and follow up with them when your product does actually go live. So we'll start with examples because I think that's the best way to demonstrate what is possible. So in the last video, I showed you a couple of our pages. I explained to you how we structure them. And if you haven't watched that video, go back and watch that part as well. It is quite clear. But in this case, I want to continue and show you how it is that you actually create the copy for them. How do we go about creating the positioning, what we're going to talk about on this page, and how you can do that. Now, whenever you're launching something, whenever you're going to bring something to the market, you've got your positioning, your hooks, and all those things. We can talk about that another time as well. But one of the key things you need to remember is that you're positioning your hook for the pre-launch that you're doing might be different to the launch that you're doing. I'll give an example here. So let's say Dropbox, one of the best known examples online of a really good viral campaign that brought them a lot of leads before they went live. Dropbox is all about storage. You can store your documents, you can store everything in one place, and it's easily accessible. But when they were in the pre-launch mode, that wasn't quite their positioning. Yes, that was the underlying fundamental that with this you'd be able to do just that. But the underlying positioning was that when you sign up, you get 2.5 gig storage for free. Plus, when you invite other people and they sign up, they get like 200 MBs or half a gig. I don't remember how much it was. But that's their promise. That's their hook on that opt-in page. So that's very, very important as well. When you think about a new, let's say, a Kickstarter campaign of sorts, right? So let's say there's a Kickstarter campaign that hasn't yet gone live. Their promise isn't that, hey, you can buy, for $200 you get this. No, they're like, we're going to be releasing this product that's going to be revolutionary. And if you want an early bird seat, if you want a discounted offer, then sign up. So discount is the hook in that case. It's like, yes, this thing is going to be available anyway after this date. But if you sign up now, before we open the cart to public, you get it at a discounted price. So the discount is the hook in that case as well. So when you're building out these pre-launch pages, you need to think about what incentive it is that you're going to offer to people. And the incentive is not the same as, hey, we're going to have this like cool new tool that's coming out. The incentive is more about what you can get if you sign up today compared to everyone else that signs up after a certain point. So there's a little bit of ego in that messaging, because what you're doing is you're telling people that if you were to sign up before a certain date, you get something that others won't. So that draw is very, very important. Now let's look at the structure. Let's look at this copy in particular, and then we'll talk about the follow-up a little bit later in the second part of this video as well. So the copy is quite straightforward. Register to win a free copy. Live workshop. So we're pitching them. And again, this is where I could tighten up the messaging a bit more, because I'm kind of number one asking them to win a free copy if they sign up, but I'm also inviting them to live workshop. So, ideally it should be just one message, but the two messages go hand in hand, so it's okay. But live workshop reveals how we can use AI to flip domains and make $10,000 per month. Live workshop reveals how regular people are banking $700 to $2,000 per deal using a simple yet powerful white label arbitrage formula in 2025. Now, I want to show you something else too. So I'm going to go jump on to the sales page, and you will see the headlines a little bit similar. So we have tested this, of course. We have made sure to test out different angles and see what works well or what doesn't. But in the pre-launch, this is what we went with. And the promise there was simple: live workshop reveals. Same thing, live workshop reveals, because we're trying to get these people to sign up to a webinar that we're doing. If you're not doing a webinar, then you could, of course, simply have an opt-in page and say, sign up to get like early access, sign up to get a discounted price for when we go live. So the promise there needs to be very straightforward, what it is they're signing up for. Then we followed it up with 3 sort of benefits, I'd say. So the benefits are you can use it to start and scale your domain flipping business from scratch without any prior experience. You can use it to find and acquire this. You can use it to do this. So everything that we teach in this workshop, you can use to get results. That's your promise and you kind of doubling down on your promise. So this is more of a high level promise, like, okay, you can make $10,000 a month as side hustle in 2024 or 2025, but then you can also do this, you can also do this, you can also do this. So this is more of a, I'd say, like an emotional pull, right? So we're emotionally trying to capture an audience attention. And then this is more of a logical pull, like, okay, here's an actual, I wouldn't even say feature list, but here's what you can actually do with this. Right. Then let's talk about the video. Typically, the video is not very long. So if I just play this for a second, this video is about 1 minute and 20 seconds. And again, in this video, all I'm doing is I'm explaining the premise again. I'm explaining the problem. Like, here's the problem we're trying to solve. Here's the solution. Here's our proof that it works, or our results. And here's the call to action. So it's very, very simple, 4-part. And again, it's the same formula everywhere. This is about 45 seconds long, but the premise is the same. Here's the problem that we're trying to solve. Here's the solution. Here's our proof that it works. And here's the call to action. Of course, if you want to, you can switch it up a little bit. There's something you're always testing as well. You can open up with the call to action, like, hey, you can open up with the proof. You can say, hey, let me show you how we helped 20 people make $10,000 a month. Now, the problem that they were facing was this, and the solution that we came was this. Now, of course, you don't reveal everything in the solution, but you tease them. Now, if you want to learn the entire solution, if you want to learn from start to finish what we did for them, what you can do for yourself to make $10,000 a month, this is where you go sign up. And the sign up form is right below. Right, so I'll just show you this as well. Sign up form is right below. If you add a timer, that's usually a good thing. We had a timer here too, but we removed it. But if you have a timer, that's a good thing because you create an urgency. Now, what I find about timers is that if you've got a timer for like 7 days, the urgency is not that high. Yeah, people are interested, but they're like, you know what? I'll just come sign back up tomorrow. How often have you done that, right? We've opened up a page on our mobile phone, like, hey, I'll go check it from my desktop, and we never get to it. But in this case as well, all we're doing is we are building up that urgency. And the closer it gets to that 0-hour mark, the higher our conversions go. That's a fact. Then we typically follow up with like a free gift that we want to give. Now, again, this is something we experimented with. I think we've done that here as well. So yeah, there you go. It's a hit and miss, I think, because now look, this is the third reason for them to sign up. And I think if there was just one reason, as long as it was very well positioned, the sign-ups will go through the roof. But we're kind of banking on people who don't care about the workshop, people who don't care about winning the free copy. Maybe they'll care about this free cheat sheet. So there's a little bit of experimentation still going on with these pages that we do. But this is where you can choose to offer something for free. Now, this is a free cheat sheet that they get when they register, and that gives them a step-by-step guide on how they can sell domains for a top fee without any experience. So this, of course, relates to what's coming next. So the idea with this free lead magnet of sorts is that when you download it, you'll be tantalized a bit more, you'll be teased a bit more, because you can see in the lead magnet, there's our logo, there's sort of, checklist that explains to them how to sell a domain. They'll be like, okay, but how do I buy the domains? How do I find the domains? Well, that's what we talk about in our training that we're doing. So this is another way to bring people back in. In the past, what we have done, and it's something I think a guy called Jason Fladlin came up with, was you take your webinar presentation, you kind of create a concise version of it, but then you remove certain things which they can only learn on the webinar. So you kind of give them like a homework of sorts. You got to attend the webinar because you'll be able to fill the blanks. People love it because it gets them to take action. When they take action, they're more likely to buy it from you when the product goes live as well. And then we talk a little bit about who should attend this workshop. This is just qualifying them, and to be honest, it's quite broad qualifications for most part. I'll show you these as well. Generally, we look at who our target market is going to be, and then we qualify them, right? We look at who it is that we're targeting with this offer, and then we talk about them in this section. And here's some proof as well. If you have, if you don't, that's okay too. Like in this case, you can see we didn't have any proof, but here we did. Right? And then typically a bullet point list of here's what you'll discover live for free when you attend. This matches our slides as well. So we have the slides. I can show them in another walkthrough video. But in those slides, we talk about these things as well. When you attend the session today, here's what you're going to learn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like the key bullet points. And then again, sign up form one more time. Sign up form one more time. Simple as it comes. But then again, if you have testimonials, you can put those as well. These are more like written testimonials. Ideally, if you have like proof screenshots of people having made money with something, people having lost weight or other things, that works better. So the copy structure we talked about in the last video is the same, but the positioning is important. So again, I want to just show you this one more time because I think it is very, very critical. Number one, there's a call to action right here, right? So number one, there's a call to action right over here. Number two, another one right over here, which is more like subliminal, like live workshop reveals. And as we go down, you've got the third thing, which is a giveaway that you're offering to them. Third key element. Fourth element is qualification on this page. Fifth element is what you're going to learn on this workshop. Sixth element is testimonials or proof, as it were. Now, other people have done different kind of pages as well. And let me see if I can actually find one from a friend of mine. Okay. It would help if I actually could type properly. There you go. Okay, I don't think I have access to his page right now, but that's okay. But people do it differently. Some people do a very, very simple page where all they do is like a headline and some text on the left and some opt-in form on the right, and that's it. That's all you get. So you got to experiment. And it's not just about bringing getting a high sign-up rate, because if you get a high sign-up rate but low show-up rate on the webinar or low show-up rate, a low click rate when you actually send the email to go buy, then what's the point? So for me, it's very important to get qualifying traffic. So it's not just about maximizing your conversions with better copy. It's about trying to see, okay, how much money did we make on that webinar that we did before we went live, or how much money did we make as soon as the card opened, compared to how many opt-ins did we get? Because opt-ins are a vanity number. People that are not going to open or click on your emails, they're not going to buy from you. They're useless at the end of the day. So you want to do as much as you can to maximize those sales for when the product goes live. Which brings me to the next point. That is, I want to talk to you about follow-up now. So when it comes to following up with these leads that you have, let me see if I can draw some things for you here. I think it's very, very critical that I go deeper into it. So of course, as a very first step, what you're doing is you're acquiring their email address, right? Sign up and then we'll mail you. You acquire the email address. What do you do then? For me, pretty much immediately, I send them a confirmation email. And that's a fairly simple confirmation email like, hey, thank you so much for signing up. Here's a free gift that we promised you. And just as a reminder, here's the webinar link that you need to sign up. You would have been signed up automatically because in the backend, what we're doing is as soon as they sign up, we use Pabbly to get them onto our email list, to get them into the webinar. So they're registered already for both of these things just by opting in once. And yes, you can include a checkbox with like GDPR compliance and all those things. You're welcome to do things as you see fit in that case. But in our case, we immediately fire up a confirmation email. Like, thank you for signing up. And this email typically gets like 70 to 80% open rates because remember, we're giving them the checklist that they asked for as well. So they're getting something within that email as soon as they open it. So that email typically fires after like 5 minutes. They get access to it. And then after that, leading up to the webinar date or leading up to the launch date, however you want to look at it, we send them a sequence of emails. Right? So the sequence of emails is structured around like, hey, cool, I hope you enjoyed your gift that we gave to you. Now, just in case you're not sure, just in case you're wondering, let me just expand this a little bit. Okay, just in case you're wondering whether you got this or not, yes, you got this. Here's how you go get access to it. And please remember, like, this is a session you want to go for, this is a session you want to attend. And then we use the copy from the session, we use the presentation that we've created, we use a sales page that, if you're not doing a webinar, to reinforce the points over and over again and to talk about it from different angles too, right? But initially, you just want to reinforce your points. You don't want to talk about too many different things. You want to keep your positioning very, very clear, very straightforward. Like, this is why you need to attend the webinar. This is why you need to wait for an email on this date at this time when the card goes live and where you can get an early deal or where you can get a discounted deal, you can get extra bonuses. You want to continue to reinforce that point because that is what will drive people to you. That is what will drive people home. So these are very, very important things. You can experiment as much as you want. That's okay. But the money is in the follow-up. The more you can follow up without being creepy, without being aggressive, the more money you can make. I can't begin to tell you how many people don't buy from the first email that you send to them. So when you have this email list, you have the opportunity to continue to send emails to them where they can, read your messages, they can buy from you. So follow-up is important. I will say until the card opening time, keep the positioning same. Don't experiment too much. Don't try and go from too many angles. But once the cart does open and some people are there that haven't bought from you, it's okay to talk to them from different positionings, right? It's okay to kind of just discuss with them and say, hey, this is how I want to be able to show you why this gets resolved, and do all that, and you're going to have success with this. Now, I want to talk a little bit more about copy before I end this video, because copy is one thing that we've spent a lot of money in the past, but dare I say it, these days, it's actually getting quite easy to use ChatGPT or other tools to create your content as well. And this is how we do it in our team. So for example, I'll take this page where we're talking about this live workshop about domain profits. And I'm just going to open up ChatGPT for you. And what we're going to do is we're going to create a live invitation sequence in front of you. Now, we actually have a tool under Mailview. Let me just show you this. Under Mailview, we have a tool for automation. So you can actually go ahead and let me show you this. You can create your own full-fledged automations from within this. If you want to create your pre-launch sequence, you're able to create that as well. Let me just sign in and show you. All right, so you're able to go ahead and create your entire email sequence by just answering a few questions if you wanted to. But if you didn't have that, if you don't have access to that, if you want to use ChatGPT, that's okay too. So what you can do, I'm just going to switch to 4.0 version because, well, actually, if you're going to copy and paste, you can use like a better version as well these days. There's 0.1 and 0.3, which I think are pretty good as well. So let's use 0.3. So I'm going to feed this in, and I'm going to just type in something, and I'll say, hey, I am going to share copy from a page where we are inviting people to a workshop. I need you to write a welcome email that people will get once they sign up on this page. In this welcome email, include details and access to the gift we are giving, and reinforce why people should join the workshop. Here is the copy. Right, done. Gonna press enter there, and let me see if I can zoom out a little bit. So there you go. I basically copy pasted the entire thing from here from Domain Profit. And now we're going to let AI create this email for us, right? So welcome aboard, claim your free gift and get ready for AI domain flipping workshop. It's perfect already. Thank you for signing up for this workshop. We're thrilled that to have you join us. Here's what's coming your way: insider secrets to lucrative side hustle, step-by-step strategies, automation for success, real results. Your exclusive free gift is waiting. Go ahead and download your gift here. Why you shouldn't miss the workshop, what's next, and so on. I'll say, okay, for now, this is great. Let's do a follow-up email to reinforce the idea, same positioning, different words, and then give them a link again to re-register for the workshop. Pretty simple. I mean, the more detailed you can get, the better it will be, but that's fine. What you're doing is you're basically asking it to write a follow-up email, and then you can ask it to write a follow-up email. So this is really thinking. This is really thinking about, okay, what do I need to do? How do I need to approach this? Let's build this out. And this is, again, a simple email. You know, as you keep going on with this, the emails get shorter. And if you do this, I mean, you can create an entire sequence within minutes. I love how far ChatGPT has come. I think it's great way to do a lot of work in a limited amount of time, not having to pay expensive copywriters and so on. So do this, and you can build out your entire copy, your entire email sequence and everything pretty quickly. I mean, we actually have advanced training where we go through doing everything using automation, doing everything using AI to the point that I can just answer a few questions and I can now create my sales pages, my emails, my opt-in page, like everything, which I think is fantastic. But anyway, I digress. What I will ask you to do though is if you watch this video, leave a comment below, give us a like, Let us know what you think. Are you enjoying this so far? Is the 0 to 15 million journey something that you can feel, I can take parts of it, I can take all of it and build my own business as well? If you can, that's fantastic. Let me know in the chat box. Let me know inside as a comment. And I'd love to kind of hear from you and see how it is we can help you moving forward as well. This is Neil Napier, and I'll see you in part 6.